YouTube, how are we? Welcome to 2022. This is the first video that I've done for this year. So bit of a change of course. I am currently mini cutting, and I kind of, for some reason, I always cringe when I say mini cuts, or to be honest, even when transitioning from a bulk to like a full cut, I sometimes cringe because it's just done unnecessarily a lot of the time. And I bulked for a solid just under a year, and to be honest with you, I wasn't 100% ready to go into a mini cut. I'm doing it, and we'll dive into this a little bit more later on, but I'm doing it for two reasons. Number one, to just pull off some extra body fat that I've put on during the bulk. Number two is just to reset appetite. Literally, it's going to last 6 weeks straight back into a bulk again. But basically what happened is, over Christmas I ended up getting COVID, and I was sat at around about 68, 69 kilos, and the goal was to get to 70, see what body composition was like, and either keep on pushing up to somewhere between 73, 75, rinse and repeat, see what the body comp looks like, and go from there. Or if I got to 70 and thought body comp looks off, we're going to cut. So I ended up getting COVID around about 68, 69 kilos. Wasn't eating anywhere near as much, even over Christmas, which is crazy to say. I lost weight over Christmas, but just wasn't eating anywhere near as much. I was on about 3.2 thousand calories on a training day, and just wasn't training, so wasn't needing that amount of food, and wasn't hitting that. Lost a little bit of weight over Christmas and thought, as much as it pains me, I've definitely got some extra body fat I could do with pulling off. Could definitely do with resetting appetite. Let's just drop into this mini cut for the first 6 weeks of the new year. So I didn't get to 70 kilograms, which annoyed the living crap out of me. But I thought, while the scale's moving, let's just keep it rolling. Keep on pushing the logbook numbers in the gym. Keep muscle a big priority. Try and retain as much as I can. Get these 6 weeks over and done with, and then we're back into a bulk again for the remainder of the year. So today I'm going to take you through a bit of a day in the life of mini cutting. I'm hopefully going to get some footage filmed of my push session, and take you along to the other gym that I train at, which will be cool because normally I film workouts in the studio. See if we can get some clips done at the other gym. Run through a little bit of food. Run through how I've set this mini cut up. Try and make it some kind of educational as well as just fun to watch and chill with. But yeah, I think that's my rambling intro over. Hope you're all well. Hope 2022 is going well for you all so far. Today's an online coaching day, so it's going to be nice and easy for me to film this. I'm not going to have to running off to do in-person PT. So I'm going to get some check-ins done as well. I'm waiting on a call this morning, which is a little bit annoying. It's not a client. I'm not getting annoyed with a client. It's a GP call. But I don't have a time for that. It's just AM. So ideally I'd like to run off to the gym now while it's nice and quiet and get the clips filmed, but unfortunately I can't do that. So I'm waiting on that call. But no, gonna get some food and we will get on with the day. For me, the forefront of my mind was, got to get these GI issues sorted. There's no point in pushing food in if your body's saying don't want it. What's going on, guys? It's Editing Sam here. So I thought that I would take you all through my push session. I can never say that. Push session. So I do 2 push workouts a week. The first one is the one that you're watching right now. So I do this at a gym that I'm so grateful is close to my house, full of some just incredible kit. If you know me, you'll know that I'm a big fanboy for Nautilus Nitro. So to have this so close to my house is incredible. And then the second push workout I do at the studio at the end of the week. So starting out here, this is the Nautilus Nitro seated converging chest press. Got 2 sets on here, so following a top set and back off set method. So first set, this is the one that you're watching, got a 1 set of 6 to 8 reps. In the second set, we go in with 1 set of 10 to 12 reps. Again, you're going to hear me just absolutely fangirling over machines here, I'm going to be honest, just throughout this whole voiceover basically, but this is just such a beautiful piece of equipment. You get a nice drop off in weight as you push through into that fully contracted position. Converging, so hands are moving slightly closer together, and taking that obviously to failure there, as you just saw. Next up, we are going to move into, I'm trying to drag this out so that it crosses over nicely, high incline Smith press. Again, following a top set and a back off set method here. So I'm going in for first set here of 8 to 10 reps, and then I go into a second set of 12 to 15 reps. I'm really enjoying this movement at the moment, and I'm just trying to progress it as much as I can. I'm going to be honest with you, going into my next bulking phase, I'm going to put real emphasis on delts and chest, because I feel like it's just a really lagging body part for me now. I think, all truth be told, it's because I went through a good few years of just not enjoying push workouts. I don't really know why. I just struggle to get excited for them, which is kind of funny because they're kind of seen as the bro workout normally, but it just, I don't know, just spent some time just not liking them. But I finally got into the groove of them. I look forward to them, and I feel like the bulk for this year is going to be big in terms of these push workouts. So I'm really excited to see how I can progress that movement. Into some lateral work now. Starting out with some dumbbell lateral raises. So I do 1 set on here, falling between 12 to 15 reps. So I take this to failure in the short range. So as soon as I can't get my arms out to 90 degrees, I stop. And I'm basically using this to tax that shortened position, so when my arms are out at 90 degrees. And then, as you'll see in a second, I'll go into 3 sets on a seated machine lateral raise, another Nautilus Nitro bit of kit, and that's going to just work the entire range. So even that bottom portion there where my arms are down at my sides, as soon as I lift that stack up even a tiny bit, I'm getting a challenge to the delt. So we've got a full challenge throughout that movement, but we're getting a nice drop off at the top, which you can really feel on this. You can feel that weight getting slightly lighter as you push up to the top of the movement, which is great because that's where we're in a weaker position. So we want a little bit of a drop off there, and we get a really nice challenge. Moving slowly into the pec deck. There is a Nautilus Nitro pec deck, which I haven't used, and I honestly sat here now, I don't know why I've not used it. I've just gravitated towards, I think this is a Cybex fly. I'm not, now that I've said that, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just really enjoying this exercise, and I just haven't, for whatever reason, moved on to the Nautilus Nitro flight, although it is silly really because I've heard a lot of good things about it, so maybe I'll do that at some point. We've got 2 sets, 12 to 15 reps on this. Just realised I didn't actually give you the reps for the machine lateral raise, which is 2 sets, 12 to 15, and then a final set of 8 to 10. So we can get a little kind of heavier one in there to just completely tax that delt. Moving into some tricep work, so starting out with some sets of single arm cable pushdowns. Now what you're going to notice here is, actually to be fair, I've probably not got the best angle on it, which is a little bit annoying, but essentially what I'm doing is I'm allowing my elbow / hand to move through a natural path here. So I'm keeping my elbow locked to my side, shoulders nice and depressed. But if you could see me from the side, what you'd be able to see is that my hand is finishing further out in front of me than it's starting. And that's simply the path that my hand wants to move through. And it's how my elbow feels nice and comfortable. And you'll find that that's basically how everybody wants to move. There'll be slight differences, of course. We're all structurally very different. But that path of motion is going to apply to basically everybody. You're going to want to allow that hand to finish slightly further forwards in front of you than it started. And a great way to accommodate that is to stand side onto the machine. So I used to stand facing the machine, but I learnt this trick off of Luke and Paul from the Muscle Mentors, and honestly, it just feels a million times better. So I would give that a go. Did 2 sets, 12 reps each side, into a final set of 8 reps each side. Last exercise, going into the Nautilus Nitro tricep extension machine. So we're training the tricep here in a position of some shoulder flexion, which is what I like to do. I like to have an exercise in there where we've got more of a neutral shoulder position, so that's arm down by the side, and then we'll go into a position where we've got the shoulder into some flexion and train the tricep through that. So some other examples of that would be like a cable kickback, not a cable kickback, a cable school crusher or a dumbbell school crusher. So we've got that shoulder in a position of flexion. But this is a really nice exercise. Again, following that same rep range here as I did with the push downs. So I'll do 2 sets, 12 reps each side, finishing with 1 set, 8 rep each side. Now what you'll notice here, I'm going to wait until I go onto the other arm in a second. Actually, I did it at the end there as well. You'll see that I'm using my non-lifting arm to get me into the starting position and then back to that finishing position at the end of the set as well. So that's just to make sure that I'm not going into weighted ranges that the joint doesn't want to be in. So that's known as a passive range. So you'll see I'm going to pass that to myself there. It's just so that I start in my active range, so that again I'm not putting the joint into positions it doesn't want to be in, and I'm not calling on passive structures such as tendons, ligaments, joint capsules, all of that kind of stuff, which initially you might not notice any pain by doing that, but over the months and the months turning into years, that is where joint problems occur, by putting yourself into positions that your body simply does not want to be in. So that is all of the push exercises for that workout 1. You're going to see in a second, just for proof, I actually included a little clip of my 20 minutes on the Stairmaster. This is my promise to myself for this year, is to make sure that I get cardio in every week. But no, that is everything, and I will leave you guys back with present Sam.
There's not really a way to make this very appealing, unfortunately.
Okay, just got back. Eating post-workout meal. I'm really, really hungry. Meal timing's got all messed up today because of that call and having to train a little bit later. But we've got some cream of rice, some protein, banana, and a little bit of salt. I'm going to eat this, get showered, get changed, and then I'm going to finish this video by running through exactly how I plan my mini cut. And hopefully it's helpful if any of you guys need to do the same. Okay, so let's finish this video going through my mini cut, and hopefully this is helpful and you can apply it to your own mini cuts if appropriate. So just to kind of very quickly go back over the point of this mini cut, abs is not the goal. The reason I said at the very beginning of this video that I get a bit cringy when I talk about doing a mini cut is because it's normally, people that do mini cuts are normally just kind of thinking 6 weeks or 8 weeks and we can have some abs to put on Instagram. And it's not really what it was designed for. A mini cut is simply something that you put in between bulking blocks in order to drop down on some body fat, improve health markers, and reset appetite, which is literally what I'm using it for 6 weeks. Aim is to drop around about 5 kilos, that's my ideal, and then it puts me in a good spot to finish the year with the goal weight of 73 kilos. So before this mini cut, my calories on a training day were 3,000, just under 3,300, and on a non-training day they were just under 3,000. And what I've done is I've just pulled straight back. On a training day I'm now running 2,500, and on a non-training day I'm running 2,000. Really on a training day the aim for me is to keep performance as high as possible. Just like with any cut, whether it's a standard cut or a mini cut, you seriously need to keep on progressing your logbook. You need to keep on progressively overloading. Ideally increasing strength, particularly towards the beginning of a cut where you're not going to be losing as much strength, and just try and maintain as much as you can towards the back end of a cut, because if you don't, you are just going to be burning through muscle. And I've done it in the past where I thought, oh, I'm cutting now, so I'm going to train lighter, which is bizarre, I know, but I've done that in the past when I was younger and just got into lifting. Logbook numbers are so important, and even though I'm halfway through this cut now, I'm still progressing lifts. The only thing I notice is that I do get a little bit more tired towards the end of a workout, but other than that, strength is at minimum maintaining. On some exercises it's increasing, so that's super important. In terms of the calories and what I did, I really just pulled back, not randomly, but sort of I dropped around about 1,000 calories on a non-training day, and around about 800 calories on a training day. Again, just a little bit more on a training day in order to keep performance high. And like I say, there was no real science to it. When I plan out a big cut, I tend to get a little bit more mathematical about it, because you could have like 20 weeks ahead of you where it's really crucial that every week is kind of cut down at the right point. At the end of the day, this is 6 weeks. I've pulled back like 1,000 calories. That should hopefully last me for the whole 6 weeks, and we can get the 5 kilos off. I've tried to keep carbs as high as possible, so I've dropped fats down to 0.3 grams per pound of body weight, which has brought me to 44 grams on all days. And then on a training day, I've got up on the screen here 361 grams of carbs on a training day and 236 grams of carbs on a non-training day. So they're a big priority in order to keep that performance high and keep recovery at the forefront as well. So that is the mini cut. That is how it's going. I suppose really this is an episode of the Road to 24, so that might actually be in the title. I haven't done one of those for a while. If you're new around here, the Road to 24 is literally my goal of stepping on stage for the first time in a most likely men's physique show in 2024. That's the goal. So once this mini cut is over in 3 weeks time, we get back on the bulk, and that will be going right up to the end of the year. Get to 73 kilos at least, that's the goal. Assess body composition, and in 2023 we rinse and repeat all the way up to 2024 when we step on stage for that first time. So if you found that helpful in any way, please drop this video a like. Any questions at all on the topic of mini cuts or just anything mentioned in this video, leave them down below. Subscribe if you are new, and as always, I'll see you all in the next one.